All right. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Jason and Rob review The Golden Bachelor. This episode was a lot more action-packed than the last one. It wasn't just like people coming out of a limo, but there was multiple dates, sometimes dates with groups. It was actually kind of exciting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I agree with what you said. A lot more action between the flash mobs at the diner and the wedding photo shoots, which props to the show, I will say. For at the end of the last episode, having that wedding shot, I thought that was a shot towards the end of the show. It was actually this episode when they were doing a wedding shoot. So, point to the producer on that one.
Yeah. An interesting note to start off with is Marina was not in this episode at all. Don't know what happened to her, but my take in the previous review of her lasting a bit for diversity's sake is not looking great at this point.
And we'll get to a bit more later, but Natasha also got eliminated. So
yeah,
the diversity is dropping.
Yeah, this
quickly.
might be a problem in the modern age. We shall see.
This is coming about as wide as the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it's rough. We got Tiger, and that's about it. So to start this episode off, there was an individual date in which, well, actually, to start this episode off, before the date was the girls moved into the house, and there was like a little bit of drama here and there. Teresa was not happy about having a bunk. Sandra was not happy about the closet space situation. You know, just like normal people living together things. And then they went to the individual date.
Yes. And hearing you recap the start of that episode just reminded me about how little I cared about the first 3 minutes of the show. But once the action started, the first date, Teresa got the date card. She had a very strong first episode. I believe we call her the winner of episode 1 overall, I think, if I'm remembering correctly for last week.
Something like that.
Started off strong this week, got the first date. They went to a diner. Headlights were out on the car, building drama. And then the hand on the shoulder, which I want to do a test here real quick because maybe this is something I just don't know about. But
I feel so calm.
Bro,
if I was driving and the headlights were out on my car, I'd feel pretty good right now. Like, that's nice.
Power.
Yeah.
Power hand on the shoulders, ladies.
Yeah, it just works.
But then, what happened after that?
Oh, yeah. So, important to note, Gary sounds like a robot this entire episode.
NPC behavior.
Yeah, he might not be a real human. And this is shown on the date. So they go to the diner and they start talking, and Teresa gets the points of being the first one to open up about like her like real loss and sadness of losing her husband. And Gary's able to relate to this really well, obviously, as he lost his wife. And yeah, so it's just a really strong first date. A dance scene breaks out. Some cheesy stuff about like, oh, Don't Stop Believing as Don't Stop Believing by Journey plays on the jukebox. That's when the dance scene breaks out as well. And then Teresa gets the first rose.
Yep. And gets a lengthened kiss as well in the diner.
That is important to note.
Yeah. So it appeared to be a really good first date. Yep. But like you said, Gary seems like a lot of a robot.
Yeah.
And it felt fake.
Yes.
The whole date felt pretty fake.
Yes. Oh, I guess before we move on, there is the conspiracy theory that was brought up by one of the roommates that Teresa might be the date to like shake off the rust.
The preseason date.
Yeah, the preseason date. Not the regular season, but like, okay, this is what we're doing to get things started.
I could see that definitely. I think Teresa's going to go a long ways, but we'll see. Yep. Then we had the group date. So we took 12 of the women, not including Teresa and a few of the others. They went out for a photo shoot, and there was a little bit of drama when the costumes were revealed, and all the ladies had to run over, watching a bunch of 60 to 70-year-old women run across the field. Yeah. But there was some drama because some of the costumes were taken that some of the ladies wanted by other females. And so there was some bitterness, particularly from Leslie towards Natasha.
Yeah.
Now, Leslie won in the end, as Natasha did get dated.
Yeah, but a little spoiler there.
Yes. Well, that's the second time I mentioned it. But
yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Any comments on the photo shoot?
Yeah. So Nancy, I think, was the winner of this episode. And this happened at the photo shoot where she was crying because it's like, oh, I haven't worn a wedding dress since my wedding, which is a pretty normal thing to do, is not wear a wedding dress since your wedding. But like, I was getting real sad about losing her husband, and so she broke down, and then that prompted Gary to be like, okay, one-on-one. And that's when she won, as she was the second woman to open up about missing their significant other. And Gary said all the same things, basically, that he said to Teresa.
So you got the same cutscene.
Yep. That she did. Also the second rose.
Yes, she did get the second rose. So Nancy and Teresa got the 2 roses before we head to the rose ceremony. Now, there was the whole Gary's birthday scene, which I thought there were some underrated moments in that. I feel great about Ellen as my pick for the winner.
Ellen is looking
Ellen
solid.
was just under the radar the whole episode until during the birthday party. She is the one that gets the framed picture from Gary of their photo shoot. They did not show that for any of the other women. Ellen ends up getting the 6th rose of the episode, which I think is right where you want to be right now. Firmly in the middle, not anywhere close to the chopping block, but also not too high up, where you end up like Faith and really take a tumble, peak too early.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Faith at the moment. However, she did make it to the next episode.
She is staying alive. But Faith, April, and Kathy, last 3 women to get roses today, so they're the ones on the proverbial chopping block.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for our last 30 seconds each.
Yep.
So, Jason, would you like to start?
Yeah, Natasha, Jeannie, and Peggy did not make it. And that is, I mean, it's kind of whatever. Natasha was the only one that really got any screen time. And so it was kind of surprising to see her go already. But, like, you got to do it to build up the drama, right? And so I think it's just interesting that, I don't know, that Teresa got the date and was the first. We'll see if that means anything, but I still feel good about my Faith pick because I think this is where she falls down and then slowly climbs her way back up throughout the season.
I could see that, definitely. Yeah, just a few things for me. Also, mentioning Natasha, which she's getting a lot of talk this episode for someone who got eliminated, but she had a very strong ending there at the last 30 seconds of the episode, mentioning how they should do a sitting rose ceremony in honor of Natasha. We are doing the filming of this review while sitting.
Yeah.
Other things, Susan likes to take control. I think April's on crystals. Gary is way too into hugs. That closes my thoughts and closes our episode 2 Golden Bachelor review. So tune in next week for episode 3. The last 30 seconds, they showed some highlights for the next episode. It looks like things are
drama is picking up.
It's going to get spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night.